So people, I'm not asking you to get to class on time. I'm telling you to get to class on time.
Wayne Dickey is the AVID teacher at Sam Houston High, and for his students, AVID is a last chance at college.
What we're going to break into today is we're going to break you into tutorials, your tutors.
AVID is a way of changing how public schools teach.
Way to go, buddy.
And it's working so well, AVID is spread to 1,200 schools in 21 states.
I was a D average student.
And what are you doing now?
I'm AB student now.
God, that must make you feel great.
Yeah.
I'm Dan Rather.
I'm Bob Simon.
I'm Charlie Rose.
I'm Vicki Mabry.
I'm Scott Pelley. Those stories and Charles Grodin tonight on 60 Minutes 2. Last night in his State of the Union address, President Bush praised Congress for passing the biggest education reform in decades. But he said there is more to do to prepare our kids to read and succeed. So how do we prepare kids to meet the new higher standards in mandatory testing? Well, recently we heard about a fresh idea in education that may be the answer. It's called AVID. AVID changes the way public schools teach. It works so well that AVID is spread to 1,200 schools in 21 states. AVID gives struggling students intensive tutoring, and it revolutionizes the role of the teacher. An AVID teacher is a coach, a cheerleader, and a cop who pushes kids to be more than they ever thought they could be. Today, kids who were lost in remedial classes are now making the grade because of teachers like Wayne Dickey down in San Antonio.
Too often you see a kid sitting in the back row, he's down here like this. First impression from a teacher, he's a knucklehead. He's not going to be able to do anything. So we teach him, you know, sit up. Don't go to that back row. Look the teacher in the eye.
Wayne Dickey is the AVID teacher at Sam Houston High, and for his students, AVID is a last chance at college. They're kids in the middle, making C's and even D's. Kids like Lucy Allen, who is struggling and working nights because as a senior in high school, she's a mother.
I just didn't have confidence in myself, and I didn't think I could do anything.
You were skipping class a lot?
I skipped a lot.
Charlotte Bates planned to drop out. Since her dad died, she's been caring for her disabled mother.
Were you going to go to college?
No.
Had no intention of going to college?
No attention.
A lot of these kids just don't believe you when you tell them they're going to go to college.
Well, you have to realize that a lot of these kids have been told all their life that they can't do this, they can't do that. And, you know, if you're told something constantly, even though you might have a great willpower, staying power, eventually you're going to believe that.
AVID changes that belief by changing the way kids are taught in public school.
Is that the name?
First, AVID transfers students like Charlotte out of remedial classes and into advanced courses like chemistry and calculus. That would be a formula for failure if it were not for the AVID class itself.
It's better if you break it down.
AVID meets 1 hour every day, and it's largely about tutoring. If a student has trouble in any subject, they get help in AVID class. Help from Dickey, from college students trained as tutors, and from each other.
What are you guys doing? All four of you are working on the same problem.
Yes.
Each of you has got a piece of this puzzle.
Yes.
And so you're teaching each other.
Yes. And it'd be twice as effective.
But even more effective than the tutoring, AVID revolutionizes the way teachers teach. Here's the difference. Dickey's job is to watch over his students' entire day. He monitors how they're doing in algebra, history, English, everything. And if they have trouble with schoolwork, he finds them help. If they have trouble with teachers or classmates, he intervenes, always working to keep the class on the straight and narrow.
So people, I'm not asking you to get to class on time. I'm telling you to get to class on time.
Tell me about the first moment you met Coach Dickey. You thought, what? What have I gotten myself into now?
I was like, I think I'm going to get up. I was like, I don't want to be in here with him, because I was like, if he thinks he's going to run me, he's not going to run me.
And so what turned you around?
Him talking to me personally, showing me that he cared.
every one of these kids has some huge something missing in their home and their community, and that's why they're not doing well in school.
Mary Catherine Swanson started AVID 22 years ago in San Diego. She believed then that underprivileged kids were falling behind because no one showed them how to succeed.
What they need is stability. They need family. They need somebody to whom they are responsible. And that's what the AVID teacher becomes.
You think one of the places where American schools fail is because the English teacher isn't paying attention to what's happening with the child in history class, and the history teacher doesn't care how well he's doing in algebra class. There's no connection.
There's no connection. One of the problems in America today is our schools have become very large, and students slip through the cracks of anonymity.
In 1980, she convinced a group of those anonymous kids to volunteer for her experiment. She called it AVID, for Advancement Via Individual Determination. How determined were those students? Well, look at them now. We held a reunion of those early AVID students, and 20 years later, they're engineers, executives. Javier Escobedo works on satellite systems.
You're a rocket scientist.
So they say, yes.
Clarence Fields is an executive at Xerox.
I'm curious, what happened to the other kids in your neighborhood?
Some of them, after high school, went on to take on jobs. Some actually were killed in different situations. Some are actually in prison.
Why didn't that happen to you?
Because at the end of my high school career, I had opportunities.
Josefina Palaio told us that the most important lesson from AVID, the lesson that changed her life, was to believe in herself. She says she needed that when her alcoholic father wanted her to quit AVID.
One time I had a term paper due, and 10 pages into it, he picked it up, and he just tore it up page by page in front of me.
You know, a lot of kids would have quit.
I don't think so. I think when you have somebody telling you that your dreams are valid and that you can actually accomplish what you set out to accomplish, it doesn't matter where it's coming from. Because no matter what, if Mary Catherine Swanson could help us, she would. So as long as she believed that I was not wrong to believe in myself, I was not going to give up on myself.
What we're going to break into today is we're going to break you into tutorials. Your tutors are...
AVID's system, the teacher acting as coach, the daily tutoring, is now being used with younger kids like these at Spring Valley Middle School in San Diego. Here, 12 and 13-year-olds are learning how to take notes like college students, how to manage their time. Javier Lopez is graded on how well he keeps his stuff in order.
Then I have 2 highlighters, a glue stick, a calculator, and ruler.
Way to go, buddy.
Believe it or not, they're even graded on their schedule planners.
Whoa. This is every day this week. First time. Way to go. Awesome. Congratulations. That's
You're teaching middle school students time management?
Absolutely. It's the way all successful people get through life. They don't just let life happen to them. They learn how to organize and control life. And that's what we teach in AVID.
good. All right, yes.
And it's a lesson that AVID says comes cheap. For most school districts, about $1 a day per student. When AVID arrives at a new school, there are inevitably teachers who think that it's too good to be true. That was Connie O'Connor. She actually kicked the AVID kids out of her advanced placement, or AP English class, and was forced by the AVID teacher to take them back.
How do they do now compared to the best and the brightest?
They not only pass the AP test along with my other students, but more of them pass the AP students, and they're setting the curve in the classroom, which makes my regular honors students work more to their standard, which is really an incredible feat.
Wait a minute, you're saying that the AVID students are bringing the honor students up?
I am.
I was D average. student.
And what are you doing now?
I'm AB student now.
God, that must make you feel great.
Yeah.
Your first A on your paper. Mm-hmm. What was that like, Jocelyn?
Well, for math, it felt really good because I stink at math. AVID gives me that help, and it felt good. I went home, I was cheering, and it feels good to succeed. Like 3.6, I feel like I'm a genius. I'm the smartest person in my house, I think.
Javier, did your parents go to college? Do you know?
No.
Michael, your parents, they go to college?
No, my mom never got to college.
How about you, Jocelyn? Did your parents go to college?
No, my mom didn't go to college.
Who's going to college? Everybody's going to college.
All they have to do is have somebody pushing them, somebody telling them, yeah, you can do it. Yeah, you got a chemistry test on Friday. Take your rear end home and let's study. Tutoring session on Tuesday. Bring it in. We'll do whatever we got to do.
It is hard work, and not everyone succeeds. In San Antonio, all 23 students in Coach Dickey's senior class graduated, and of those, 18 are now in college. That includes Lucy Allen, the teenage mother.
Would you ever have believed that about yourself when you were younger?
No, I didn't think I would ever fill out any college application. So it's amazing.
What's amazing is with the support and encouragement of AVID, these kids are able to overcome all sorts of obstacles. Charlotte Bates, who wanted to drop out, was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in her junior year. But with Coach Dickey, she stuck with AVID, and now she's in college too.
None of my parents graduated from high school. I'm going to be the first one that graduates from high school with honors.
Are you more now than you ever thought you could be?
I'm stronger now. I'm like, I can do anything now.
What pushed you over the top? What made you the person you are now?
AVID.
AVID says 95% of its students go on to college, as opposed to about 63% for students nationwide. It's a lesson in success that is changing the lives not only of the kids, but also of a lot of teachers who are showing them the way.
I tell you what, you get to a point where you get attached to these kids, and you care about them as people first. You want them to succeed in anything they do. So there's a lot of book victories, but AVID is also, there's a lot of individual stories about these kids overcoming things.
You're proud of these guys?
Very much so. They're my kids.
Log on to CBS.com to learn about AVID programs in your area.